niggas know I'm certified. 45 to worldwide.
What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the GinTV podcast. As always, you got your boy Eazy in the building.
It's your boy Manu.
And A1DasauceGod.
So what's good, fellas? How y'all doing?
Doing good. You doing good? How are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Feeling refreshed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How are you doing, A1?
Man, I'm chilling.
Yo, honestly, I'm doing really good right now because this weekend was a really good weekend for me. Like, today, so for a lot of people that don't know me, I'm originally from Waterbury, and I recently moved to Newington. And one thing that I've noticed about Newington, that's different from Waterbury, is besides the potholes, is how nice. The potholes is a problem, but I noticed how much nicer people are in Newington than in Waterbury. Because when I went to the park, right, I just randomly showed up and there were people eating pizza. There was like a couple eating pizza, right? And they just offered me pizza. Like, they don't even know me. They've
Right.
never seen me before, right? And they just offered me pizza, and they offered the people that I was with some pizza. And I was like, I've never gotten that from Waterbury.
Bro, they're trying to poison you.
They're trying to poison me. Nah,
Bro, you think about it.
I ate the pizza, I took a slice. It was good. It was some good pizza. But honestly, I've never actually gotten that from Waterbury.
Okay.
And this brings me back to something that you recently posted on social media where you said, why do people live in Connecticut? And I kind of want to narrow it down specifically to Waterbury because I feel like there's not really much going on here. So I want to know, like, why do you guys feel like you guys, because I'm in Newington, because I'm like the guy from Friday. As soon as I started making a little bit of money, I got the hell out of Waterbury.
Got the fuck
I got the fuck out of here. So I want to know, like, why do you guys still feel like you guys have to live in Waterbury?
I don't feel like I have to live in Waterbury. I mean, honestly, to me, I don't have a problem living here. Like, I don't have issues. Like, I surround myself with good people. I'm not in a situation where people are disrespecting me or just being overall mean or dickheads. Like, I've gotten food offered to me at the park before. I mean, like, I think, obviously there's different towns that, like, you're going to get different energy from different people, but I think a big part of it is the kind of energy that you put out. I feel like I put out a certain kind of energy that doesn't attract negativity into my life. And
I'm not necessarily saying that there's that negative persona that people portraying in Waterbury,
right.
But you did state in your social media that why do people live in Waterbury? Can you elaborate a little bit
I never
more?
actually said.
In Connecticut.
So correct yourself. I never
in
said,
Connecticut, I corrected myself.
so,
Go ahead.
but you still live in Connecticut.
I
right?
do live in Connecticut.
So you live in the same situation I do.
But I moved out of Waterbury though.
To still live in Connecticut.
I'm not trying to play anybody from Connecticut.
He definitely
I mean,
is.
from Waterbury. Shout out Waterbury. The dirty waters.
Nah, I feel like for me, it's just a foundation. Like, my mother moved over here from Philly, and then I kind of just went to school here, built a foundation, got a decent paying job here. So that's the main reason. Like, actually, one of my homegirls, she moved to Miami and then moved to Texas, and I'm like, that's dope. Like, I would like to be able to do that, but it's just for the fact of me building a foundation here is the reason why I decided to stay here.
I've heard a lot of people that they stay in Waterbury because family and friends, you said, you build that foundation,
right?
And you pretty much want to sustain that foundation. And I could see that's a legitimate reason to.
I mean, look at yourself, right? You live in Newington. You're here every other day.
Not every other day, once a week.
You've been here twice this week already.
Yeah, I mean, we went to Danbury to.
I'm just saying, but you come here quite often, right? Like,
I do.
So
I do. Yeah, my family's still here, so that's why.
People move out of the town that they supposedly hate, but they come back to the town quite often.
But I hear so often on social media that people really don't like this environment, but I don't see people moving out. I
don't think people just have the means to move out. I feel like for the most part, it's maybe it's not just Waterbury, but I feel like it's let's just put
everywhere.
It Waterbury mindset where we discussed it before where a lot of times it's like crabs in a barrel. People don't really want to see you progress. You don't really get support from local people in whatever endeavors that you plan on doing. So I think that's the main thing. And it's almost we're not small enough where
we're
we're
irrelevant.
fucking like we're irrelevant.
We're not
But
big
then we're not
enough.
big enough like a New York City where we could actually like, you know, become something or make something unless you end up like moving out. So I think that's the main concern with like people living in water
See,
or having complaints about water.
my thought on it is, right, because I see people. So people are always like, yo, this town is boring. This town is boring. First of all, typically it's not the town, it's the person. You feel me? Like, yo, if you're whack here, you're gonna be whack there.
I don't
Yo,
think so, because yo,
let
we
me finish. Yo, and it's a grass is green on the other side, like kind of mentality, right?
Right.
Bro, I'm on a lot of social media platforms, and I have friends, or not friends, but you know, like followers and people I follow from all over the country, from different countries. And when I tell you, everybody almost feels like that about their it's usually it's your hometown. It's not everybody feels like their hometown is shitty and the people that they grew up with are shitty.
Right.
Like that's just not that's not like a Waterbury thing. I'm telling you, like, yo, with the exclusion of certain really poppin' towns, almost everybody that still lives in their hometown feels that type of way. And I think it's a deeper thought where you feel like, oh, I haven't really progressed because I'm still in the same spot.
Right. Or the people around me.
Yo, so can you elaborate on what you meant by why do people still live in Connecticut?
Oh, because I was in Puerto Rico. And
Yo,
let's
talk about that.
No, yeah, we'll definitely get into my Puerto Rico trip. But my thing was because I was on the water and it was just such nice weather, and I knew I had to fly back, and I was like, fuck, like why do people live here? Like it should be freezing. Like,
home, yeah.
But to get into that, so I just got, I actually just went to my home country that people think I'm from. You feel me? Like everybody thinks I'm Puerto Rican.
Right.
Yo, ditto, bro, ditto. Everybody thinks I'm Puerto Rican.
What?
Did you feel at home?
Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I felt the warmth, like, yo, because
Okay.
I'm originally from like a tropical place anyway, right? But yo, so this is actually because my birthday just passed, and I've been telling myself for a long time because I actually went there by myself, so I did a solo trip.
Right.
And I remember telling everybody that shit, and they're like, "Yo, like, why? Like, yo, like, what's wrong with you?"
Yo, he's going through a midlife crisis or something, early midlife crisis.
Yeah, like, yo, people really couldn't understand or fathom the thought, like, yo, why would you go on a vacation by yourself? And I try to tell people, it's like, I went there to relax, you feel me? And sometimes when you go on vacation with your friends or family, you don't really get to relax because, yo, you're on somebody else's time. You got to do like some activities that you may not want to do. And when I went there, it was just like, it was on my time, you feel me? Like I took as many naps as I wanted to, went to every place I wanted to go, didn't have to wait on nobody. And if I didn't want to go somewhere,
you just didn't go.
I didn't want to go. But yo, I'm gonna just actually, because I really haven't even talked to y'all about the trip. So it's actually kind of funny and also very dope at the same time. So, so for anyone that's actually going to Puerto Rico anytime soon, you do have to get a COVID test like 2 days before it.
Okay.
Yo, so I get on the flight, get down there. They won't even let you leave the airport if you don't have the papers with you.
Really?
Ooh.
Like if you don't have your proof of like you took a COVID test, like they stop you like right there.
Okay.
So that's just a heads up.
Yo, make sure you get your test in order before you
Are
go.
the lines longer than like they normally are in the airport for that process? Like,
yo, to be real true, I got to the airport like late as fuck, and I thought I was gonna miss my flight, but there really wasn't that many people there. Like I got through TSA very quickly, yo. So yo, I get there, do that COVID shit, yo. Then I put my Airbnb on my my Uber, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why the shit says $400 to get to my Airbnb, right? So I'm like, yo. This is I'm bugging right now. I'm like, I'm not paying $400. Yo, so it turns out I booked the Airbnb on the other side of the island.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah, like complete fucked. I'm like, yo, this is a good ass price.
Oh, yo, you should never get an Airbnb based on price alone. Though. You got to make sure you do this.
We learned first.
We got to go over that. We got to go over that one day. Yo, the Airbnb I booked was nice, but it was just really cheap, right?
Okay.
Now I realize why. It's on the other side of the island, which is away from everything.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, so like I meet this like taxi driver, right? Like some old Spanish dude. This is like at midnight too. I'm in Puerto Rico at midnight, and I'm like, yo, papi, like I gotta find something, man. Like, you feel me? Like I'm like I'm like at this point I'm feeling mad self-conscious, a little bit insecure because I'm there because I'm dealing with this shit by myself. I don't speak Spanish. I look like I speak Spanish. It's confusing.
Yo, they're gonna call you a phony, bro.
Word. So, bro, I'm like driving with this old Spanish dude, right? Cool as shit too.
Word.
Like, literally for an hour and a half, Like, I'm going to every hotel I got in the strip. Like, yo, everything's booked, bro. Like, booked. You feel me? I'm like, but yo, you know what? Then I gather myself and I tell myself, like, yo, this shit gonna work out. Cause you feel me? I'm big into the law of attraction.
Absolutely.
And I'm like,
I was just about to say, you put it in the universe.
Bro, I said, I'm like, yo, this shit gonna work out. Yo. And so it be it. The last hotel I get to, they have a vacancy.
Okay.
So I get that shit, and then I book another Airbnb way cheaper for $100 for 3 nights.
Really?
Like down the street from where I'm staying at right there. Like close to everything. So that, yo, it worked out like perfectly. And that's why you gotta stay in a positive like state of mind. Cause
Absolutely.
yo, if you're negative, yo, that shit gonna attract like negativity. Yo, so the next day, I went to snorkeling. Never done that shit. Seen some sea turtles.
Okay.
Met some dope people out there snorkeling. Yo, cause you know, like a lot of people think I'm a very friendly person.
Yeah.
But I really like deep down inside I'm not. I don't fuck with, I don't like people. Like
You don't like interactions, like random interactions.
Nah, not really. Cause I'm like, I just don't like small talk. I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just ain't for me. Like I like deep conversations. You feel me?
Right.
So, but yo, I'm like, yo, everybody's mad for. I think everybody felt bad for me. Like that ass.
Like yo, you're here by yourself.
This dude ain't got no friends.
Guy got no friends.
Yo,
over here.
exactly. Yo, so I seen some people when I was snorkeling, and then like later on, I'm in like Old San Juan, which is like a dope, yo, fly ass town. You feel me? Colorful, beautiful, like just restaurants is great.
I remember you had told me about that spot before. Like you had went there at a previous trip.
Yeah, I gone there though with my family like years ago.
Yeah.
Which was a horrible experience. Got into like a big argument with somebody, like killed the trip with me.
Absolutely.
So, bro, I met up with the people that I saw snorkeling, right? Yo, and they're like, yo, you want to come with us? I'm like, I literally have no other plans. You feel me? Bro, so and these people are friendly as shit, you feel me?
So, yo, that's what I'm telling you guys. Like, people are friendlier. But go ahead, yo, keep telling me.
Yo, funny story though. They actually, so as I'm getting to know them, like, they're from New Jersey.
Okay.
And they're complaining about their town.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, which is actually like, was like the point I was trying to make.
Everybody's complaining.
Yo, and they actually like live in a big town in New Jersey. I think it was like Rutgers or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like a big college town. You know, it's just funny that, like, I'm telling you, everybody that lives in their hometown just hates this shit.
About it, yeah.
Yo, so they took me to like mad party spots. Yo, and then like they're mad friendly. So they're meeting other people as we're going out. Like,
so they're doing all the socializing, the social work for you. Like, you
exactly,
don't really gotta do any of
exactly. Yo, and they took me to this spot called La Perla. I'm telling you, like, this is like almost kind of like a mini Bourbon Street in Puerto Rico. Like, lit as fuck. Like, mad bars, mad clubs, music. Like, if you go in Puerto Rico, you'll look up La Perla. Like, that shit. Yo, they call it the ghetto of like Puerto Rico, but I felt at home.
Right. I mean, you're from there, right?
Might be. Yo, my past life, yo, I was a Puerto Rican.
Ancestors.
But like, so yo, we're doing that shit, yo. But pretty much like that was my time there, like meeting strangers and just becoming friends and networking and connecting. And, yo, and I really went there to relax, and people really could not grasp that concept of like, yo, what do you mean you're going on vacation to relax? And it's just
I told you when you told me, I'm like, wait, first of all, you go on a trip, you don't invite nobody, you just go by yourself, and then you're going to a whole nother island.
Yo, I feel like, yo, and I told people, like, my boys, like, there was a little bit of saltiness. Like,
bro, I was like, yo, I would have went with you, bro. I would have booked.
Salty. For me, it was just like, I can't imagine just going to a place like a whole nother island by myself.
A whole nother country.
Just for the main purpose of relaxing, just for a break.
But that's dope as fuck, though. Like, I feel like people should do that more often. I might actually do that.
Yo, because honestly, it forced me to get me out of my shell. Like, I'm telling you, like, because when you go somewhere with your friends, right? Your friends give you a type of confidence that's like that most people don't have by themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
So at first when I got there, I told you I was really like kind of self-conscious. I was like kind of insecure. I was like, damn, like I don't want to look like a fucking loser. Like I got friends. I got friends back home.
I'm a cool guy.
Yeah, like look at my Instagram. Like I got pictures with people.
Look at my tattoo.
I get 100 likes.
Exactly. Yo, so it made me get out of that like state of mind. You feel me? And I really did relax, yo, because I was so burnt out from like working so much. Yo, because especially in America,
yeah,
all you hear is, yo, chase the bag, get the bag. You feel me? And it's like,
work.
Yo, there's like, nobody promotes days off here. Like, it's all about hard work.
It's almost
25
looked down upon when you take a day off, or frowned upon. Like, you kind of feel guilty for taking days off.
Honestly, the last couple of years, because in my field, if I don't use my time off, I actually get a check at the end of the year, right? So the thought process of me getting a check will just make me work throughout the entire year, and then just be like, just get a 2 or 3 weeks worth of money that I wasn't earning. So I'll just work throughout the entire year and not take any time off.
Vacations to earn an extra check.
Yeah, because it's like, that's a couple.
But you're like, that's
couple $1,000.
It is, but but you're like, that's your condition. I've been conditioned that way. Like to like, especially because we're all kind of from immigrant parents. You feel me? And they're like,
workaholics.
Work.
When I told my mom I'm about to go out there to relax, she like laughed. Like, what do you mean relax? You're relaxing right now. We're talking to me.
Like, you relax when you die.
Exactly. When's the last time you actually got to relax?
The last time I actually got to relax was when I had COVID, like back in like September.
Yo, that's crazy.
Wait, that's fucking. You had COVID? So you have to get deathly ill to relax.
Yo, honestly, it was like the most. So at first, quick story. So when somebody had got tested positive at my job, I came in contact with them. I was starting to feel like the sniffles and shit, but I just attributed it to like my yearly sinus infections. So
in the winter.
It happens
during a pandemic.
It really happens. It happens randomly, bro.
Like, if I get the sniffles right now, I'm getting tested.
So we ended up so on Sunday I got a phone call from somebody and they were like, such and such tested positive, and then I'm like, I've been sick lately and I was around this. I've been sick lately. Later down, one of my coworkers was like, she was in our office and we came in contact with her. Mind you, she was eating her lunch. I was eating my lunch. So there's no mask. There's no social distancing. Like my office is about like as big as this room. So like she's like literally as close as
me. Might as well made out at that point. Like.
For real. Anyways, kind of fast forward in the story. My job was like, you have to get tested. I'm like, I'm good. Like I had just took a test like a couple weeks ago for the same situation. They came out, did the whole swab, tested positive, and I literally sat in the car for like an hour, just like
damn, I really got this shit.
Like, no, damn, I'm about to die. Like
contemplating your life. I'm about to sign over my will right now.
For real, like I really
leave me your chain.
Really, I thought it was a death sentence. Like,
leave me your blade. I want the bracelet.
Damn, Nick, I'm still alive, bro.
Just in case.
Right. But I sat in the car for like an hour. Like I really thought it was like a death sentence. Like I check all the boxes. Like I'm overweight, I'm African American, I vape, like and literally everything that they tell you.
Dead man walking.
For real. Like I'm like, it's only a matter of time. So, luckily like it didn't progress too bad. And the main issue that I had was like my lungs were inflamed. So when I took a deep breath, like the pain would be there, like I would get shortness of breath. So going to the whole vacation thing, like so it took like 2 weeks for me to feel better. For the most part. And then I couldn't get released because the doctor didn't like the fact that I had shortness of breath and my lungs were hurting. So once I realized that, like, okay, I'm getting better and like things are on the upside, like that's when like my mental thought process just changed completely. And like I was like, you know what, like this has been pretty peaceful. Like not to think about work. Like I get to turn all my phones off. As most people close to me know, like I work 3 jobs. Literally I work 2 days straight. Like
just to survive.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even like not even to be like wealthy as shit. Like
exactly my point.
Yo, like, one thing that you hit like on the nail is that you actually decided to relax, right? Yeah. Yo, at my job, you know what I was trying to do? I was like, I want that like stay at home pay, but I'm still gonna work and still like double up on my pay, and they were like, "No, you can't do that." I'm like, I'm trying to make double.
Yo, literally, that's what.
But that's my mentality right now. Is like, oh, I gotta get the bag.
My job doesn't allow you to do that either.
No, my job was not gonna allow me to do it. And I was trying to convince them to like, if I get COVID, and I was gonna purposely go out there and get it, just so I could, I could like be at home.
Trying to finesse the system.
Yes, I was trying to finesse the system so I could be at home and get paid like the relief pay.
Right.
And still work and charge to a project so I could continue to get my regular pay and double up. But that's the mentality that I've gotten right now, that I got to like.
Yo,
get
you
that
wanted to. This how much hard, like how hard of a worker you try to be. It was like you were gonna get sick and still work.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't have all the symptoms, right? So if I'm asymptomatic.
You was willing to gamble on that
Yeah, I was
to get
I
a
was-
check.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, yo, I'm relatively healthy and young, so I didn't think that I was gonna be affected. Fingers crossed. But
So,
yo, go ahead.
I'll get back to you in a second. But so basically, in the last couple of years, the only chance you really got to relax was by getting sick.
Yeah, me damn near dying.
That's crazy.
How about you?
COVID sick,
How about you, bro? Like, when's the last time you got to really relax?
bro. Honestly, I'm trying to this year. I'm trying to relax a lot more because last year it was a good year financially for me, but I was working so many hours because my job wasn't considered an essential job.
Right.
So we never shut down. We just like, wear our masks in the office and everything. But I'm trying to relax this year. I might do what you did. Like, you're kind of inspiring people. This is like a movement you're starting.
So what you're saying is like you've never relaxed.
No, I went to Cape Verde 2 years ago and I really got to relax because the
Okay.
plane ticket there is like $1,200.
Damn, that's pricey.
Yeah, $1,200 just for the plane ticket. So I got to relax a good amount of time there. It was like
Okay.
for about 3 weeks.
Okay.
Went to the beach.
How long
like,
ago was that?
That was a year and a half ago.
So your last time to really relax is about a year and a half ago. Then.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, otherwise not.
yo, because it's so tough nowadays, bro. Like with work, families,
Right.
like yo. So if you got kids,
Social
'cause-
life.
because me personally, like I work mad hours. You feel me? And then when I wasn't working this year, I had my son, like, cause he wasn't in school.
Right.
So like I had I'm doing school with my son. I'm like, I literally felt like I had no time to even think, yo.
Slow down.
And yo, cause
Yeah,
it's just the mentality here.
yeah
yo.
it
It's
really is.
like, yo, it's just, why do you think it's like, it's so like that in America where like they really don't even promote any days off. Like, it's like, what you go on like social media nowadays, right? It's hashtag no days off, team no days off. Like, yo, team like
Team
work.
grind.
Great.
Chase
Yo,
the
because
bag.
we're in a society where this is a capitalist country. So we're seasoned to like work until we're 65. Like that's what we're seasoned to do. Like and then get like a social security benefit, which may not even be applicable
It's
to
gonna be
us.
bankrupt by the time we collect.
Yeah,
Pretty
absolutely.
much. So that's why we work so much because we're trying to like, the government is trying to like benefit off us because we're paying taxes, right? So the more we work, the more
Yo,
they
we're
make
not
money.
we're not working smarter. We're working harder.
Yeah.
Like, or most people here. You know what's something that like really fucked me up, yo, is a couple years ago, right? Actually, like 2-3 years ago, I had a coworker, right? She worked till the day she could retire. Like, was it 65?
Yeah.
Yo, she retired that day, right? Yo, a year later, she got sick and died. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
yo, to me, it's like, yo, you just worked your whole life to enjoy 11
year.
months of your life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, to work that much, to work your whole life, and as soon as you retire, you pass away off like some bullshit disease. Like, yo, I thought like, yo, that's like you just got robbed.
Absolutely.
yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much like your life was pretty much how much ever money you made that year. Like, one thing that I've done, which is kind of off topic, like, and this is why I feel like we strive so hard, like, because our parents come from nothing, and like we definitely want to achieve a certain level of success.
Word.
But for the most part, like when I was like 21, I calculated, like, let's just say I didn't increase my income until I was 65. Like, I think at that time, like the max amount I made was like for that time frame, it would have been like $1.2 million. So pretty much like my entire life would have been
Like if you just work steadily.
Yeah.
steadily, nonstop, like for 20 something
That
years,
ain't
or 40
shit.
something years, like $1.2 million. Like somebody could have bought me my life for 1 point something million dollars. Like, and that's when it kind of like shifted my mind frame on like, you know what? Okay, I have to, something got to change. Like, one, I also have to like enjoy life a little bit more. And two, like I have to achieve a certain level of success where I'm valued a lot better than that, because I like to think of myself as valuable. But I feel like most people just constantly in that fucking hamster wheel. Don't ever really get a time to take a break and just constantly making pretty much bare minimum.
Yo, cause all people do is brag about how hard they work. Like, and it's like, and I've been part of that trap. Yo, and honestly, like now that I'm getting a little older, it's like I'm realizing like, yo, you gotta enjoy your money. You feel me? Like you can't
Absolutely.
just have
Absolutely.
mad money.
Yeah.
Yo, but the thing is, yo, finding that balance is so hard because I feel like, yo, it's so hard to be in the middle, right? Of enjoying your money and saving your money. Cause yo, it's either most people are really too extreme because we
Right.
have friends that are on both sides. You feel me? Like you have a friend that you said like, yo, this guy saves every penny but doesn't
Absolutely.
do shit. And then we have friends that like, yo, ball out every week. And you feel me? Like they never got any type of reserve. And it's just like, yo, how do you balance that personally?
Yo, for me personally, from an early age, I understood finance. Like I understood the value of money. So whenever I made money was, and if I spent money was for the purpose of making more money, right? I never went out and just bought new Jordans or bought like a chain or like was really fancied out, right? In terms of my style.
Not no more. Got the chain on.
No, I mean, yo, that's where I'm gonna get to. Like, yo, I was always thinking about like how am I gonna get to the next level. So when I first got I was a caddy. So when I got my first job as a caddy,
Okay.
I saved up to get a car, so it could be easier for me to make
More money.
Yeah, to make more money. Then as life progressed, now I'm in the mentality of like I have to pay off my house. Like, yo, what's the biggest expense that most people have, right?
Mortgages.
The
Mortgage.
mortgage. All right, so what am I gonna do for the next 10 years? I'm gonna work out a plan. So by the time I'm 30, my house is paid off.
Okay.
I'm debt free. Went to college, so I paid off all my debt. So now I'm debt free. Now I could like actually enjoy the money I make, and I'm at the stage in my career where I'm making the most amount of money that I've ever made. So I could actually go out and like spend and not think, because I used to always think.
Yo, so right now you paid off your mortgage, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any student loans?
No.
So you're pretty much debt free, right? How long would you say it took you about like 10 years to get to where you
Pretty
are?
much 10 years.
All right,
Yo,
so
people
you just
take a lifetime.
Yeah, I would say,
Exactly.
I wouldn't say 10 years. I would say 15 years because I started thinking
You
about
started
this when
early.
I was like 15.
All right, bet. Yo, so you say so you're saying that you've been like grinding for 15 years straight, right? Like to get
Yeah.
to where you are right now, which is a great place. To be mortgage free at your age is like amazing, right? And not even have no student loans and like that. Do you feel like you missed out on anything in those 15 years? Do you
Absolutely.
regret?
Hold on.
no.
Hold on. Can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
I want you to dive it a little bit deeper. Don't forget that question. So how long did it take you to pay off your student loans? Let's tackle that first.
Yo, so as soon as I graduated college, I was in like $55,000 in debt, right? So I got my job. I got a good paying job because I picked the right career. So I just started like, yo, I got my paycheck. It went from my account to the federal student loans straight, just like that. And I would say in about 2 to 3 years, I would say 2.5 years, it was paid off.
Okay.
Right.
$55,000.
I was living at home with my mom. Like I drove the
No
same
shame, no
car.
shame.
You know what I'm saying? So throughout that period, paid off all my debt right there. So now I'm debt free, and I'm thinking like, all right, let me save as much money as I can for a year. So I saved up some money, and I was like, yo, I'm quitting my job today. Quit my job, moved to Florida, tried day trading, didn't work out, and now I'm in. Just to answer your question, like that's
All right. So now,
But
when
go
did you buy your house? My next question is, when did you buy a house? And
I
how
bought
long
my
did it
house
take
2
you to
years
pay that off?
2 years ago.
And how long did it take you to pay
2
that
years.
off? Really? The
Yeah,
entire
2
2
years.
Paid off your
Yeah.
whole house in 2 years.
Yeah,
That's
2 years.
amazing.
I mean, I bought a condo. It's not a big
Man,
house.
it's
It
a
was like
fucking, that's a house, man.
Yeah,
Don't
it's a
be
nice
humble.
Place. It's a nice place to
Don't
do
be
it.
humble. You
Yeah.
pay that
Everything.
shit off.
Yeah, like yo, living.
I mean,
debt-free
condos
is
are north
nice.
of $100,000. So to
My-
pay off
Mine
north
was
of-
155.
So $155,000
In
Yeah.
2 years. That's,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Bro,
Yo, by
that's
myself.
insane.
Like that was all me paying off my house.
By yourself?
Yeah.
That's a strong, independent man.
Bro, that's $75K a year. Like,
Yeah.
But yo, it was also,
Going
but it's
straight to your
also,
house.
yo, it's also an investment property
Yeah.
to me because I plan on renting it out at some point.
Yeah, you're thinking.
Yeah.
yeah, most
But-
definitely. But
Back to my
Answer your
question. Yo, within those 15 years of grinding, do you feel like you missed out on anything? Like, do you have any regrets?
I don't have a lot of regrets, but yo, you gotta sacrifice. Like, yo, when your friends are like rocking the nicest clothes and you got like your friends got like some nice chains and they got like a brand new car and you just rocking like the same car that you had for like yo, I had like a beat up like 2007 BMW. It was like
It's still a
It's a
Beamer.
Beamer.
I don't
it was
know.
a Beamer, but yo, I pay like $5,000 for it. Like yo, the depreciation value on BMWs is incredible.
Okay.
But yo,
okay.
you definitely miss out on a lot of things. Like I know you guys, I hear stories from you guys, and I'm like, damn, I definitely missed out on.
But you don't regret it, right? You think you made
I
the
don't
right
regret
choice?
it because you're always living in the moment, right?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
this
true.
is where you're at right now, and if you accept where you're at right now, you're gonna be able to move forward as long as you're being progressive.
So
Okay.
now that you paid off all of this stuff and you kind of set yourself ahead of the race, like what is your plan moving forward? Like, are you now enjoying life, or like what is your? Or are
Bro,
you gonna find
I go
something
on
else?
shopping sprees now, bro. Like,
Yo, so
yo,
you hit your relaxation like period at this
at
point.
at least for
For
the
the time
next
being.
year, I'm spending on me right now. Like I've been grinding.
You're relaxing.
Yeah, I'm relaxing, but
Okay.
yo, there's still that grind that you gotta like that mentality of being
But
here.
you took your foot off the pedal for a little bit for the time being, right? Before you pick it up again. Like you're
Oh yeah, my
Okay,
foot is
okay.
off the pedal. Like I'm on neutral right now.
Guy's on cruise. He's on cruise control. He's on cruise control.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking about money right now.
All right, bro. How about you? I mean, where are you at, like in your relaxation versus your grind mode right now? Like, what's your? You know what I'm saying, like, how's that going for you?
So it's kind of been kind of like a rocky period, or like it's kind of been like up and down. So I guess a little bit of backstory. Like my mom, she moved over here. She was a hard worker. I've seen nothing but like my mom working nonstop. So that kind of like instilled in me to just I constantly have to work. Like I turned 16, had to get a job. Like my mom needed assistance. I had to take on mad responsibility.
Sounds like an immigrant right
Yeah.
now.
So like I didn't really have the luxury of like, being home and like not paying for bills. Like I'd
Mhm.
never experienced that. So my drive has always been to make more money. But I realized that like as most of us have, like you're getting your paychecks and they're gone. Like they're gone on food, like you're spending money on clothes, and it's just
Because if you don't have a plan for your money,
it's gonna
your
make a plan.
Your money runs away,
it's gonna
bro.
make a plan for
Bro,
it.
that's what's happening to me right now. But back
Yo,
on you.
holding money without a plan is like trying to like hold sand.
Yeah,
like
for
that
real.
shit will slip through your fingers.
Like
easily.
you definitely have to have it. And what worked for me is that I have to assign it instantly. Like I can't hold on to it and be like, I'll do it tomorrow, because then it's gonna be gone. But anyways, going back, like I was just spending money like I was fucking a rapper or some shit.
Okay.
And like I realized like
you
like,
live like the average American.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I was like 21, 22, just blowing money like left and right. I think by day 3, my shit's fucking gone.
Yeah, you
like,
got that, because you got that mentality. Like I'm gonna make it back.
Yeah, definitely. And I
Okay.
think like I had ran up credit cards, and it took me like 2 years to like pay off some debt,
All right.
stack up some money. I think that's when it like brought me into like ended up getting a motorcycle, and that's when like things have like that's in a period where like I had leveled up a little bit. So I ended up stacking some money, took a pay cut at my job while getting a promotion. I'm not gonna dive into that, but it was just a weird fucking cycle, and kind of had to like go and tap into that reserve. Then started getting an increase, got a raise. So it's kind of been like a up and down. But for me, for the most part, like I don't know. Right now, I'm in a space where I'm trying to get myself out of like financially from COVID, I guess you could say,
Okay.
because like I was out of work for 6 weeks. So like I had to, all of my expenses just came from like my reserve, and like me personally, like I have to have a certain number mentally for me to feel like.
Did you tap out your whole like emergency fund?
Bro, like I had to between me, so I had just bought a new car. I had just spent like some money on some other things that I like kind of pre-spent my money, and then I was down to like a certain number, and then me being out of work for so long kind of
Put
me back, and then it took 2 months after that to kind of like get myself back on track, because I still had rent to pay. I still had all of that with no income, like not a dime. So it's like I had to still find myself to had to build myself back up again. And honestly, like as of recently, like I'm just getting out of that hole financially.
Just getting back on your feet.
Yeah, just getting back. Well, most people would be like, well, you have a decent paying job and like you work a lot, so you're okay. But it's like for me, I know I'm not satisfied with that. And it really stresses me out.
You're never gonna be satisfied, yo. Honestly,
I disagree with that. But you're so basically right now, I would say you're living like the average person, but your mentality is a lot higher than that, right? Like you're not trying to live, because most people live where you're at right now, right? They're like, all right, I owe some shit, I gotta buy some shit, but fuck it, I'ma still live like this shit don't exist.
Right.
So at least your mentality is evolved past that, right? But now it's like, have your habits match like your goals?
So that's one thing I had to like sit back and think about. And I'm actually glad for this conversation because it's like, I was in a funk like a couple months ago because I'm like, yo, every time I try to build myself out of this fucking ditch, like it's just like something else coming to fuck back up. Like, and I had to completely like readjust. Like, and it kind of worked out because I think around that time, like my friends were always working. So I didn't really have much drive to like go out to eat as often.
Well, everything was closed down too. So
exactly. Like I didn't buy no clothes. I didn't buy no sneakers. I think this shirt, bro. I just bought this shirt like yesterday. Like
fresh shirt, bro.
I haven't bought.
I peeped it.
Yeah, that's a fresh
I haven't
shirt.
bought a shirt and I haven't bought no clothes in like 4 or 5 months. Like so, coming from where I was before, where like I had an excess amount of money like to spend after my bills, to like living in a deficit for a while and now building myself back out of it. Like I had to answer your question. Like I had to change my way of thinking and change my spending a little bit. So it was like completely like shut down, like fucking sandwiches, like
Peanut butter sandwiches.
not peanut butter, like
Not peanut butter.
Yo, what's
turkey.
what's Dave Ramsey be saying? Beans and rice, rice and beans. Like just like
eating the fucking bare minimum, like
because basically
shit like that.
your financial eye started awakening. Because I feel like at everybody's like at some point in your life, right? Your financial eye is gonna wake up. Some happen early, some happen late, and it's like you don't want your financial like awareness or wokeness to wake up when you're like 55.
Yo, you know what's funny? There be people that call Dave Ramsey and they're like 69 and he tries to give them advice on like how to do it. And I'm like, yo, you're gonna be 75 by the time you actually meet financial freedom.
Yo, but they be like 69 with like $200,000 in debt. And
Yeah,
then, like,
exactly.
Like all of this stuff, and it's
Bro,
like,
nah, give up. Yo,
Like-
give up. Nah, fuck that.
I'm like, yo, there's no hope for you.
Yo, fuck that. Yo, file for bankruptcy, max out every credit card, and move to Costa Rica.
pretty much.
but for
Fuck
me, it's
it.
like I don't know. Like I don't like to talk about people's situations, like even like homeless, because you never know what got them to that position. Like I feel like most people are a couple paychecks away from being
Yo, that's a
homeless.
that's
or,
a fact. That's
or,
Pretty much.
or
Yeah.
in debt. Like
yo, but
running
so
up-
many
running up
people
bills.
contradict their posts.
Right.
And when I say that, I mean, like I said, I'll be on social media. I go on that shit every day, and I see a lot of people talking about like, yo, I'm trying to level up. I'm trying to live this type of lifestyle. I'm doing boom, boom, boom. I'm trying to live like that.
I feel like I know who you're talking to. About.
It's
I'm
just
talking
people
about
in
a
general.
lot.
In
I'm talking
general,
about-
yeah.
I
There's
think
one specifically.
There is a
but-
specific person. But yo,
Like, yo, if everybody sends me $500 right now, I can start a business for everybody.
yeah,
I'm like,
that's a pyramid scheme.
Ooh.
That's a pyramid scheme.
But go ahead.
Yo, I feel like so many people, especially in our community, bro,
Mhm.
our biggest downfall in our community is, and I even hate to put like this brand out there, is Jordan. And I'm just going to choose that one
yeah.
specifically, is like, yo, we spend so much money, and I'm guilty of it. As you know what I'm saying, because I've been fresh my whole life. Like,
Okay, excuse
to
me.
death.
Excuse me.
Swagging.
Right.
Sauce. Call it what you want.
Yeah.
Yo, I done spent. That's like definitely one of my regrets to some extent. It is and it isn't. Like I feel like it's definitely kind of opened some doors for me being fresh and like kind of giving me some opportunities.
Right.
But I've definitely cut down on it. But at the same time, I always do take care of my. I mean, I have shoes from like still high school. You feel me?
Yeah.
But yo, in our community, bro, we spend so much money on clothes that like it drains us. And like yo, then we have no money, and then people complain about how they're broke. And it's like yo, and they don't like, but they contradict themselves. They say they want to level up, but you can't level up and buy like 6 pairs of sneakers in a month.
Yeah, you really can't. But yo, you know what? Yo, one thing that I've been called before, I'm like, how can you even call me this? But the terminology cheap,
Yeah.
it's like, yo, it has been used. And I'm like, yo, I've never been cheap, right? It's just I'm not spending, bro. All right. Let me explain. Let's talk about it right now.
Let's talk about
Yo,
it.
I've never been cheap. I probably spend more money
New Orleans,
than most people,
know what I'm saying?
right?
New Orleans.
Bro, I just don't spend my money on what most people spend it on.
Yo, understandable.
Like, yo,
understandable.
I'll like, yo, when I first got my first, like, when I was 15, 16, I saved up $3,000, right? I could have gone out there, get fresh. Yo,
Yeah.
I spent that $3,000 on a car so I could go out and make $10,000. So when I went to college, I had $10,000, and then I had money.
You spend on
so
that.
when-
Yo, you spend on the assets.
But I feel like
I
most
spend
people,
it on assets, but a lot of people will be like, "Oh, nah, you're just being cheap." I'm like, bro, I spend more money than you.
No, I think people say that because they're on the outside looking in. So like when you go out and you don't spend money, and like you're saying, well, I can't buy this right now, or I can't go out to eat right now, or I can't go out to party right now. Like most people will say, like you're cheap because you're not spending money.
Pretty
but
much.
You yourself, like, okay, I'm stacking this $3,000, this $5,000 for
like
to spend it on X, Y, and Z, and you may spend the entire $5,000, but they won't see that.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, I just spent $15,000 last week on federal student debt. Like that's what I bought my freedom.
Yeah.
I'm buying freedom while you're over here buying Jordans.
See, the thing is, humans, right? We're very visual people, right?
Pretty much.
So when you don't see results, you don't think it's happening. So
Right.
obviously, when you first meet someone, right? What's the first thing you see on them? Right? Their clothes.
Yeah, their
right?
clothes,
Like
yeah.
that's your first impression of someone, right? Is probably like
the most important impression.
their clothes. They're like, actually, I would say probably look at somebody's feet, right? Feet, clothes,
Right.
face, right?
It's appearance
So,
all around.
appearance, right?
Yeah.
So, because we're visual animals, you feel me?
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's like, yo, that's just like the whole animal kingdom, right? Yo, it's like to attract the opposite sex, you gotta look good.
Absolutely.
So, yo, when people don't see you like flashing like that, right? They're thinking you're cheap, but they're not understanding. Like, yo, I just knocked down $20,000 worth of debt, but like you can't. Yo, you don't wear like a fucking award. I'm saying like
Nah,
a
you
medal.
don't. Nobody gives a fuck,
Right.
honestly.
And yeah, like it doesn't really give you like that visual cue or that.
But
visual,
yo, that's also the mentality of the
gratification.
person. Like I've never been a person that I'm trying to like impress or look a certain way. Obviously now, like I had to step up my game now that I'm like technically financially free and I'm investing.
No, you're not technically. Just say
I got
you're
assets.
You're financially free. Like you,
Yeah, financial.
no, put no shackles on you, bro.
Yo, all right, I'm technically, but I'm not because my perception of financial freedom
Okay.
is that my assets or my investments could supplement my income, so I don't have to continue to work. Like right now,
fund your lifestyle.
yeah, right now I have to work in order for
Okay.
me to like
That's a good
go
way to
out
look
on
at it.
vacation or pay for my new car or pay. I still got to pay taxes on my house.
You have to answer. Basically, to you, you have to answer to someone.
I still have to answer, but once I'm literally financially free, like my investments will supplement my income. That's my definition of financial.
Okay,
fire.
No, I think most definitely. I think the reason to kind of backtrack. I think the reason why people don't actually move forward financially or continually make like the same stupid financial mistakes is because you're not taught financial awareness.
We're not absolutely.
You're not taught how to spend money. Like my mother didn't know financial awareness.
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
true.
like,
Yo.
she never taught me she would, say little things here and there, but she never really taught me how to really like save. Like, okay, it's time to open up a bank account, put away this amount of money. Like
At the same time, yo, as a kid, right, you don't listen, you see. So
Right.
Definitely don't listen.
yo, my parents could tell me whatever, you feel me?
absolutely.
But if I'm not seeing them making big boss moves, like the fuck do y'all know?
Nah, but yo,
Absolutely.
even people that are already wealthy, people that grow up wealthy, yo, they're the biggest fuck ups.
But
A lot of times,
they're fuck ups with a parachute. That's a difference.
Yo,
Yo, when you know you have a life,
Pretty
an
much.
extra life, right? You can fuck up. That's the thing. Like, yo, us poor people, we
don't
fuck
have-
up
yeah.
knowing we got no backup. But it's just like, but yo, we fuck up knowing we have no backup. But fuck it, when I fuck up, all my friends is gonna be there with me anyway, so I'm
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
Like, I'm not gonna be alone fucking up, and that's the difference.
That's true. Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that's why we end up in that hamster wheel. Like, save a couple thousand, spend a couple thousand, and then you just never really boss up to the next level. I feel like that's why we live in a day and age where like, I guess everybody's trying to be financially literate. Like everybody wants to be a fucking financial guru. Everybody wants to say like, okay, I want to be a millionaire by this age. I feel
plan.
But as you said, like we have no plan for that. Like
Bro,
we don't really have any direction on how to get there. Like most people don't go to college. Like I never graduated college. So it's going to be a lot harder for me than it is for you, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. And I feel like that's where a lot of people end up fucking up, in the fact that like they don't know their place and try to make the steps from there.
Yo, I want to touch up on that because I was a big fuck up in high school, like major fuck up. I was in classes where there was people
Remedial.
that were remedial. I was good at math. I was always good at math and science, but English and like all the other history, all of those spelling, I was pretty like trash at it. So I kind of have to disagree because I feel like if I could do it and I was a big fuck up, anybody could do it. Like literally anybody could do it.
But it has to be it has to be willpower though. Like
it has to be willpower.
I could say I want $1 million, but if I sit right here, $1 million ain't just gonna like fall out the sky to me. What happened? The difference between you and most people is that you took the steps necessary to get to that place, and it's also a little bit of
it ain't easy,
and also it's a little bit of like what's inside of you too. Like you also had like some sort of financial literacy. Like you weren't just blowing money. Like
I wasn't blowing money. All right, so the only financial literacy I ever had came from my dad, who only made $5 an hour, like throughout his, because he was an immigrant, and he only made $5 an hour, and that was the most. And then he got hurt, and then he was collecting Social Security, but he always had his finances in order. So that's one thing that I definitely got from my parents.
So you saw that, but you saw.
I didn't see it, but he would tell me about it. He would be like, "Yo, $1 saved."
You didn't see your dad spending mad money or blowing mad money, right? Like you saw him being kind of frugal,
pretty much.
So but that goes back to my point. Like when you're a child or even in high school, right? You're gonna imitate what you see, not what you hear. Especially because when you're at that age, you're so stubborn. You gotta see it.
But it's funny because my sister wasn't like that. My sister was a spender, so she's still a spender. But I love you, but
not everybody gets it.
Yeah, like not
eventually, but
not everybody's gonna follow the same path. But I feel like as long as we could have like the conversation where with our kids and like teach them, how to run, how to have a checking account, how to build credit, like
to start
exactly. Like that's where going back to that whole parachute thing, like. It may not be as big as a parachute, as big of a parachute as rich people have, but it will be some sort of parachute.
Might be a little blanket.
something to cushion that fall, like something that you could fall back on, where you could say, okay, like if I spend all of my cash, I still have this credit to kind of get me out of this hole, or I still have like an 850 credit score, so I could purchase a house. But we learn to just spend, run up our fucking credit, or break down our credit, and then we can't buy a house, can't buy a car, and.
I wanted to bring up something that you actually said, and this is real quick, but you said like, most people make 1,000, they spend 1,000. Most people make 1,000, spend 2,000 because they're about to get on credit.
That's true, yo. Go ahead. That's true. You just stay still, but we don't, basically the overall goal is to get to the point where, you can actually relax, you feel me, and enjoy your money and enjoy your life because, this shit goes by so quick. So, let's just do our best to make it and then relax, and just enjoy vacations, relax, as foreign as it is to people, stop chasing the bag for a day, take a day off, get your mental health recharge, and get back to it. You feel me?
Plan, though.
Another thing is like your hometown is not nearly as bad because everybody's out there talking about their hometown.
But I think we covered it all for today, fellas. We talked about it.
We talked about it.
Thank you for tuning in. As always, please like, subscribe, share, comment, tell your mama, tell your baby moms, tell your whoever you know. You feel me? Just tune in. Thank you. This is GinTV.
Talking like he dying and he talking at them kids and them shit. And I'm talking nigga getting rich, nigga talking shit about to probably steal your little business.